After reading chapters 1 and 2, I feel like the way that a speech should be presented was broken down very simply. Lucas talked about the basics of presenting a speech. He also stated that conversational and public speaking are very similar. The only thing is that with public speaking, you are talking to an audience and they're not responding back to you, versus conversational, you have people responding back to what you're saying. And the text also lets you know that you are not expected to be great at this point. You're just beginning to go into speech, and also you have things like people not being very confident and being nervous. I'm glad that the text did mention that, because that is a major factor. People are often nervous when giving out speeches. You're standing up in a room full of people that you probably don't even know, and you're speaking publicly, trying to voice your opinion, your views. So I'm glad that they do give you some tips on how to be confident and not be so nervous. But nervousness is something that's present. You're going to be nervous, and I'm glad they do give you tips on how to handle that. Also, the author also talks about diversity. That in your speeches you should be diverse. Not everyone's from the same culture, race, has the same views that you do. If you're not diverse, then you might lose your public, you might lose your audience. They're going to be confused, maybe not follow along. You have to be diverse. If you are diverse, then you have a chance, of course, giving out a great speech. You have people from different cultures trying to understand what you're trying to present to them. So being diverse is great, because not everyone is from the same culture or thinks the same. Also, when going into chapter 2, it talks about plagiarism, ethics, and listening. Of course, plagiarism is something that's not encouraged, especially when giving a speech, especially in today's society, especially when you are dealing with political speeches, such as the political campaigns that are going on right now. There's talk about plagiarisms and people pulling up other people's speeches and quoting other people, but taking full credit of those words. It's something that's not encouraged, something that's embarrassing if it's found out, so it's not encouraged. Everything in the text was explained wonderful to me. It wasn't that much information given to me at one point, and I feel like I was able to follow along, and if I'm able to follow along, I feel like others are probably able to follow along too. Everything's worded nicely, it's not too confusing, everything's broken down really well. So I think that Lucas did a great job in writing those chapters, and actually I feel like it is something that, dealing with college, I feel like it's great that he did do that, so we're able to follow along more simply and not get confused. And that happens a lot. It's informative and well written, in my opinion. So thank you for listening.